17-year-old Liam had always been a cautious, observant boy. After his mother's passing a few years back, he developed a heightened sense of responsibility toward his father, Ben, who had been a pillar of strength but had grown increasingly distant since remarrying. Ben's new wife, Clara, was much younger, a beautiful woman who seemed polite and eager to fit into the family. But lately, something was bothering Liam, an odd series of interactions that hadn't escaped his attention. It all started with a seemingly innocent delivery. The milk seller, a man in his 20s named Marcus, began stopping by more frequently than he used to. Liam knew Marcus. He was friendly, a bit too friendly, always hanging around a little longer than necessary. Most families in town received their milk twice a week, but recently, Marcus had been stopping by almost daily. Each time, he would bring small gifts or flowers alongside the milk, a detail that didn't sit right with Liam. When Liam brought it up casually to Clara, she laughed it off. "Oh, you're imagining things, Liam. Marcus probably just has extra deliveries," she said, smiling, though her eyes darted nervously. Curiosity got the better of him, and one Saturday morning, Liam decided to find out the truth. When Marcus arrived with his usual wide grin, Liam stayed out of sight, watching from the shadows. Marcus knocked lightly on the door, and Clara answered, her face lighting up in a way Liam had never seen before. The two exchanged a few quick words before Clara gestured for him to come inside, quickly shutting the door behind him. Liam's suspicions grew. He waited until Marcus left, then decided to follow him down the street, hoping for answers. But Marcus was careful, giving no obvious clues. Disappointed but determined, Liam returned home, but now, he kept a close watch every time Marcus visited. Over the next few days, Liam's suspicions were confirmed. He overheard a few intimate exchanges between Marcus and Clara, snippets of flirtatious banter that left no doubt in his mind. When he finally saw them holding hands, it felt like a blow to his chest. The betrayal was clear and unbearable. Liam struggled to focus on his schoolwork, consumed by anger and disbelief. His father had been through enough pain, and Liam couldn't bear the thought of him being hurt again. But he couldn't keep the secret either. After another restless night, he decided to confront Clara. One evening, while his father was away on a business trip, Liam waited until he heard Marcus leave. He approached Clara in the kitchen, his fists clenched as he tried to control his emotions. "Why are you doing this?" he demanded, his voice trembling. Clara looked up, surprised, but her expression quickly turned defensive. "What are you talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about." "I've seen you with Marcus," Liam replied, his voice rising. "You're betraying my dad. He trusted you. I trusted you." For a moment, Clara was silent. Then she took a deep breath, her face softening. "Liam, you don't understand. It's complicated." "What's complicated about cheating on Dad?" Liam shot back, his voice laced with resentment. Clara sighed. "Your father, he's a good man, but he's been distant, absorbed in his work, barely noticing me. Marcus, he was just someone who listened." Liam shook his head in disbelief. "So you betray him because you're lonely? That doesn't justify any of this." Clara looked away, visibly struggling with guilt. "I'm sorry, Liam. I never wanted you to find out." Liam's heart pounded as he weighed his options. He felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility to protect his father from this betrayal, but he didn't want to tear the family apart either. "If you don't end it with Marcus, I'll tell Dad everything," he warned. Clara's face went pale. She knew Liam meant it. The next few days were tense. Clara avoided Marcus, and Liam could see the strain in her face. She tried to reach out to him, perhaps to explain herself further, but he avoided her. He was disgusted, and the very sight of her reminded him of the pain she had inflicted on their family. When Ben returned from his business trip, Liam watched his parents' interactions carefully, noting the guilt in Clara's eyes. His father, however, seemed oblivious, warmly embracing her. It tore Liam apart, knowing that the truth would shatter his father's world. One evening, while Clara and Ben were sitting in the living room, Marcus knocked on the door. Clara visibly tensed, her face blanching as she looked at Liam. He gave her a hard stare, silently reminding her of their agreement. But Marcus was persistent, insisting he needed to speak with her urgently. "Who's at the door?" Ben asked, standing up and looking toward Marcus. Clara stumbled over her words. It's Marcus, our milk seller. He must have a delivery issue." Ben looked puzzled. "At this hour? Let him in." Liam's heart pounded as Marcus entered, his eyes locking with Clara's in a way that said everything. His father's expression changed, noticing the silent exchange. "Is there something I should know?" he asked, his voice low and dangerous. Clara's silence was answer enough. The truth spilled out, an emotional storm tearing through their family. Clara confessed everything, while Ben's face fell, his disappointment and hurt evident. Liam watched his father's face, guilt and sadness washing over him as he realized the extent of the damage. He had wanted to protect his father, but the truth had torn them all apart. Ben, devastated by the betrayal, decided to end the marriage. Clara left, and their home, once warm and filled with laughter, felt hollow and empty. Though Ben never blamed Liam for revealing the truth, the pain lingered between them, a silent reminder of everything they had lost. Months later, Liam and his father began rebuilding their lives, slowly coming to terms with what had happened. The experience had changed them both, making them stronger yet a bit more guarded. Liam often thought back on those days with a sense of melancholy, but he knew he'd made the right choice. He had protected his family's honor, even if it meant facing the painful truth. And as time passed, father and son drew closer, united by their resilience and a shared determination to heal. Though their scars remained, they faced the future together, bound by an unbreakable bond that no betrayal could ever sever.